Testing, testing. Hello, hello. Just checking out the stream, seeing if this is working. Alright, let's just see if everything is doing okay. Testing, testing, testing. Stream, seeing if this is working. Alright, sounds good. Everything's working. Okay, so we're just gonna pick up where we left off last time, which tried to draw a little better map, which is to say Lankut Fakenham Parva is our world, and basically we've got this falcon character who's a Fletchwind, aka a archer type, and he's on a mission to discover, he's trying to prevent a secret from being uncovered for the royal family that he works for. And along the way he met Eon Gunner, who is a squirrel person, and this is their squirrel people village where they live in a big treehouse. And they ventured last episode north to first the Oak and Alder Tavern, and then to, that's where they are now, in fact, and they discovered the legendary library, which they heard about from a talking tree. So, let's just read the journal real quick. Okay. It looks like we shopped somewhere, and then we adventured northward, heavy rain. The tree is still useless, the talking tree. Oh, right. At midnight, a halfling vagabond appeared, Daisy Nivla, right. And she was curious, and she tells us to go north for the library. That's the last that we had encountered someone, and eventually we were foraging for food, and Daisy got lost and kind of just wandered away, but she's a vagabond, so that's kind of normal. And we went to the Oak and Alder Tavern. We asked the first person, didn't know, was hostile. Asked the second person, she knew. What was her name? I think her name was something. Get all my stuff here. I think it started with an R, but anyway, she, after giving her some rum, she was like, oh, I know where the library is. It's over there. So that's where we're at. So, first things first, we're heading into the library. And we're gonna basically, the woman at the bar told us, oh, it's just look out that window, it's down that path. So where are we right now? We are in Oak and Alder Tavern. It is the morning in summer. We actually have a significant amount of money because we did go dungeon delving last time. So we're gonna go check out this library. So we're a little drunk at this point because we had to ply this this person with some rum. And I think our next move is to just go to the legendary library. Basically, Eowyn is a healer. He's some kind of academic squirrel person, very popular, bright-eyed, and compulsive, but he just wants to do some research about healing. Whereas our main character, Falcon, the Fletchwind, wants to do research to see if he can figure out anything about these. Basically, in our world, there are these outlander criminals, and they control a certain territory, and they're trying to reveal the secret about the noble family that Falcon works for. And their goal, their agenda is to basically kill or eliminate a powerful figure in this family. And I think they intend to achieve that by exposing the secret. And we wear this signet ring of this family, and basically it kind of reminds us when we look at our hands that, you know, we're kind of duty bound to this family, and they want us to try and keep the secret hidden. So basically, next move, we decide, let's just eat some breakfast at this point. We still have some rations both left. So just to make sure that we're not having any fatigue. Last time we collected some lamb's lettuce. So Falcon's gonna eat. Eowyn's gonna eat. He's got some Chinese sweet plums. He's also got some medicinal bitter herbs that he found. So we eat. One other thing we might try and figure out is, so, you know, Eowyn basically, well, a couple things. One, when we learned about the legendary library from the talking willow tree named Shalinar, he also gave us a recipe for a healing potion, but it has a lot of ingredients in it. So maybe we could find a book that either makes it easier or a better recipe for that. Also, it would be great if we could maybe buy or perhaps steal or borrow. I mean, it's a library, I guess we can borrow it. Some spell books, because right now, you know, we have our weapons, which is to say, Eowyn's got a mace, a D8 mace. He's got armor. He's got a flask, an oil can. In fact, he has two maces because he bought a better mace. But we can kind of get rid of the old mace at some point, or maybe just drop it. And Falcon, the Fletchwind, has a really nice bow. A sessile oak bow that does 1d8 damage. And it also dismembers on critical hit. So, next up, we travel down the path to the legendary library. So let's just take our Great Book of Random Tables. There's probably some cool name here for the library, so let's figure this out. We also have book titles in here, book titles, names, town names, inn names, bardcore song titles. We're just gonna go town names here for the name of the library. You know what? I think that might be good, right? Fortunes, goals, nope. Yep. Yeah, let's just go with town names for that. So, let's see, 140. Let's do 143. Okay. Let's get our dice out here. So, 143. What is the name of this library? 74. Brime. Brime what? Let's do 142. 35. Brime Exton Library. Okay. Brime Exton. Oopsie. I just banged my head in front of the camera. Okay, the legendary library is called Brime Exton. All right. So as we approach the library, how many stories is this library? 2-story. 2-story library. Pretty impressive. Pretty big doors. We go inside the first floor and we see a pretty impressive atrium lobby area, and there are 2 branching rooms. So let's sketch out this library now. And I did buy this little hex book, which is really for organic chemistry, but we're going to be using it for mapping dungeons and rooms. This is definitely not for organic chemistry, one of the most hated subjects that exists. Okay. So this is called Brime Exton. Okay. So we'll call this the main entrance to the library. And there are 2 branching rooms. So at first we're like, wow, Awen's excited. He's a really impulsive squirrel person. So just like non-squirrel people, squirrels are bright-eyed, impulsive. And he's like, oh my god, I love this place. This is totally what I'm looking for. There's got to be books here on healing, medicine, all the academic shit that I love. He's just like running around. I'm like, all right, you go your way. How about you take the left room and I'll go in the right room. So I go right into the right room, and Awen goes left into the left room. So what am I interested in? I think first we need to see... Now this is just an aside. This is some of the procedures for Cairn. This is the system, the rule set. It's kind of like D&D, but I guess simpler. Anywho, I actually modified this. You can get this at cairnrpg.com. I actually modified this to kind of include a few extra things that make it easier for me to sort of remember, especially for solo play, the sort of procedures. So, I mean, I think dungeon events is kind of like inside events. So, first we're going to basically see roll and encounter roll since we're in the dungeon. Well, not a dungeon, but a library. So, encounter rolls, d6 and 6. Quiet. That makes sense. We're in a library. It's really quiet. No one there, really. We don't really see anyone. You know, everyone's really at the tavern, chilling. The library is kind of dusty, not so used. Only nerds like Awen are even in this library, so we're like, okay, great. So we're just going to search around. We're just going to randomly browse some books. We're going to see anything that strikes our fancy. And let's just roll on some random books here. So, now we got, I saw it before, book name, something like that. Yes, book titles. Okay, so wow, there's quite a lot of those. All right, so let's just start with book titles, number 8. Okay, so randomly looking through the different aisles. It's not Dewey Decimal System, it's just some random system here. And we're looking at 19. The Breath of Fear. 10 GP. Okay. Well, we're not buying these books per se, but The Breath of Fear. We're like, wow, that seems interesting. We flick through that. It's kind of like a novel. We're like, interesting. let's keep looking. Book titles. 4. The Hermit's Tale and Nonsense Rhymes. It's kind of like a poetry book, kind of like an epic poem. We're like, oh, that's cute. But, you know, we're really not into poetry and nonfiction. We just need something that's going to help us. You know, we're all about business. You know, we have this mission. We can't be effing around. 52. Blacksmithing. We're like, that's great. We're getting into the nonfiction stuff. Let's hone in on this shelf, but don't really need that. Besides, we don't even wield a sword or anything like that. So we're like, let's keep going. Browsing around. 99. Fire falling from the sky. We're like, oh, okay. Another novel. Not interested. Let's go on book titles number 2. 80. The Burning Water. Now we're like, okay. This kind of describes a spell, but, I mean, 80 GP. I mean, we don't even have that much. I mean, we're not even close to that. Now, I wonder, let's just ask, I wonder, like, do libraries in this world, like, do you just borrow the books? Because I feel like they wouldn't allow you. I think it's like they sell the books. Like, you can check out the books there, you can read them there, or you can buy them, and that's it. Because the way spell books work is you need to have them in your hand and use them. And they're like a one-time use thing, so there's no such thing as borrowing a spell book. So, we already know the answer to that. No need to roll the oracle. Book titles and number 2. 74. The World is Broken, the Sad Rantings of the Forgotten Hermit. That's sad. We're like, eh. Alright. So we're still browsing. We're looking at our procedures here. We're like, we'll continue to check this out. We're going to switch over to Eowyn now. Eowyn is searching frantically. He's like, all right, let me just see if I can figure this out on my own. Book titles number 4. 50. The Wilting Sun. He's like, no, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for anything, reference books, medical books, healing books. 69. Love to see it. We are the Wolves of Anarchy. He's like, no, wrong thing. One more time. Oh, I really need books. 82. The Stone of Dwarves. At this point, he's like, no. I gotta find somebody. Where's the librarian? Is there a librarian present? Yes, there is. He's like, excuse me. Hi, my name's Eowyn. I need some help. Who might you be? And this guy... Let's see. Male or female here? Male. Let's roll an age for this guy. 30-year-old librarian. He's like, hey, can I help you? And Eowyn's like, yes. Hi, I'm Eowyn. As you can see, I'm a squirrel person. What's your name? Oops. That didn't work. He's like, my name is Lindell. Lindell the librarian. Let's write this down. Eowyn encounters Lindell the librarian. He's like, excuse me, Lindell, the librarian, where can I find reference books? He's like, oh, you're in the wrong spot. You gotta go into the right wing. He's like, oh, thanks, great, my friend's over there. I'll go right over there, thank you. So Eowyn comes, travels back all the way to the right room, meeting up with me, that is to say, Falcon. And we're back to book titles. He's like, hey, have you found anything good? I'm like, no, not at all. Like, all right, well, let me know if you find anything medical. 52. Blacksmithing again. 52. The Sky Fallen. 52. Brewing. Tips and advice on crafting beer. And Look to the Ant. At this point, we're both furiously looking for anything. We're rolling on 4 tables at once. 80. The Art of Jousting, not interested. Wild Cries in the Dark. The Shame of It All, that sounds horrible. The Burning Water, again. We're like, nope, 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 nope. 22. The Deep Cold of Wind and Water. Again, these books are expensive. The Deep Wind of Water. The Defiling Wind. Wow, I mean, 200 GP. I mean, I feel bad, but we might have to steal one of these books. Goblin Songs. And The Painted Faces. 53. A Splinter of Time. Wow, 1000 GP. I think Eowyn's like, holy shit, this book looks insane. A Splinter of Time. Does this book have any medical knowledge for Eowyn? No. But it just looks super old, leather bound, and expensive. And he's like, alright, well, let's just keep looking. 35. The Cold in the Marrow. Wow. Another expensive book, 500 GP. He's like, let me check this out. Maybe this has got what we're talking about. Sorry, that was not a roll. Nope, definitely doesn't have it. 18. Trees, a catalog species. Okay, Eowyn's like, this could be helpful. This could be helpful. The more I know about botany and trees, the better I'm going to be at doing my doctoring. Absolutely. This book is for sure useful. And it's only 10 GP. Fantastic. Eowyn is like, I'm going to take this one. I'm buying this one. He's like, let me go pay this guy real quick. I'm going to take it with me. You keep looking around for something important. Let's see, where's Eowyn's character sheet? Here it is. Nope, that's Falcon. I need a bigger desk here. So Eowyn's like, all right, 10 GP, no problem. I got 39. It's 29. He's like, Lindell the librarian. You familiar with this book? What was the name of this book again? Something about trees? Trees, a species? Trees, a catalog species. Okay, let me write that down. So now he's got this book called Trees, a catalog species. He's like, hey, Lindell, you familiar with this book? You heard of this book? Maybe you could help me see where to look. He's like, absolutely. I know this book. Not only do I know this book, I helped write this book. So, yes, what do you want to know? It catalogs trees, plants, other flora, etc. He's like, look, I'm a healer. I live in a tree. Deadass, I actually live in a tree, so we all live in trees. We're squirrel people. As you can tell, this is right up my alley. What can I learn from this book? He's like, look, there's plenty you can learn from this book. But if you really want to check out a really sick recipe that you can get from a particular tree, turn to page 81. All right. He's like, okay, page 81. What's on page 81? He's like, it's a specific tree. It's a specific tree. Pretty sure we got trees in here. 119, of course we do. He's like, oh, well, since you're a squirrel person, you ought to know about the lesser white beam tree. Lesser white beam tree's got some crazy bark. Lesser white beam tree. Bark. He's like, if you can find this bark, you mix it with some water, you mix it with something else, you check it out. It's all on page 81. You can easily... Can you make a salve? Yes, you can. That's how you make a salve. Super easy. Homeopathic medicine. This is how it's done. None of that expensive shit. It's like fantastic. Meanwhile, Eowyn is like, you know what? I'm not really having luck looking around, finding books. What are these books going to tell me? I mean, like, really, I need to, like, speak to some people to figure out these Outlander criminals, where they're at, what they want. He's just, like, kind of milling about. He's like, is there any other rooms off of this room that I'm in? Maybe there's some kind of secret shit. There is. He's like, oh, he sees a bookshelf. He's like, wow, kind of behind this bookshelf, there's kind of like another secret entrance. He peeks behind the bookshelf. He sees this kind of dusty stairway going down. He's like, oh shit, there's a whole fucking basement here. My God. He's like, this is kind of spooky. Let me try and get Eowyn first. Maybe we can find some cool shit down here. He's like, Eowyn, come check this out. Eowyn's like, is he interested? Or is he just like wrapped up reading? He's just probably reading. He's like, I can't even be bothered. He's like, no, look, I really want to read my book, but I'll come help you. Comes downstairs. He's like, cobwebs everywhere. He sees all these old ass books. Let's just see. Let's just pull a card from our dungeon deck. See what's in this little secret room. One little cut here. Oh, it's just a hallway. It's a hallway with some traps and some blood. You just draw this little hallway. some blood here. And we got some traps here. He's like, what the fuck kind of library's got all this shit? We notice there's a little secret passage though. Right here. Kind of skips over the trap area. In fact, at this point, it's kind of dark and dingy down there, so Eowyn's got to light his lantern. I know he has one. Let's just make sure. Yep, he's got a lantern with 5 uses. That's good. And we did buy last time an oil can with also 5 uses to refill the lantern, just in case. So, Eowyn lights his lantern. We're like, let's just try and successfully get through this little secret passage. We want to stay away from those traps and the blood. Who knows what's over there? No need to explore. So we're gonna, let's see, Eowyn's got the most dexterity, so we're gonna do a dex save to see. 13 or less, we're successful. 14, nope. Just barely. We're like, fuck, alright. Gotta go around. Can't, unsuccessful roll here. Gotta go through the traps, right? What kind of traps are they? Alright, so the traps are D4 plus PC's level. So we don't really have levels in Cairn. So we're just gonna say, how about armor? Armor seems fair. That's 2. So 2 plus a 1d4. That's not a 4. Here's a 4. So that's a 6. So it's a hidden pit trap. We come around the corner. We're like, something's weird about this floor right here. Dex save, Eowyn, 7. Whew! Avoiding the pit trap. Jumping over. We see the blood. We're like, oh, somebody wasn't so lucky. That's fine. Let's continue along. We get through here. We get to the next entrance. But let me just consult my procedures here. Again, this is what we want to do. I always forget. Encounter, actions, describe, resolve, and update. So we do have to roll an encounter since now we are in this room. As soon as we avoid the traps, 3, environment. The surroundings shift or escalate. So as soon as we jump over the trap, it collapses. We're like, holy shit. Fuck this. This is kind of like, we didn't expect this. We're just in a library. Why is this so dangerous? But hey, Eowyn's a squirrel person. I'm an archer. We're somewhat dexterous. We're like, okay, no problem. We get to the entrance, to the end of the last hallway of this room. We're like, all right, let's continue on. Ooh. Here we are. So, this next room goes up, goes around. There's a door here. There's a door here. There's a door over here. All right. All right, so we got treasure in here with a hard lock. We got a table with gold and stuff on it. Wow. We we got just some regular doors right here. Looks like someone's sleeping quarters. We're like, wow, holy shit. We just found some cool shit. Is this where the librarian lives, perhaps? I mean, it was kind of like a hidden entrance, so I don't know, like, why would he live down here? We're like, you know what, though? We see some chests. We're like, okay. Don't mind if I do. What do we got in this chest here? One of the chests is unopened. We're gonna roll items in a chest. Items in a chest, 85. Items in a chest, 85. 89. Drawing of a handsome man. Interesting. We find a drawing of a handsome man. We're like, oh, this is just his personal belongings. You know, maybe it's Lindell lives down here. He's just got some personal effects in there. We're like, put that back. No worries. Oh, I didn't even see this trap over here. Let's back up. Again, armor 2 plus d4 equals 3. So there is no trap. No wonder we didn't see it. So we skip over that. We're like, all right, there's a very hard lock over here. We do see some stuff on the table. Is there anything useful on this table? Nope, not really. I'm like, all right, well, just someone's eating quarters. So this very hard lock. Now, do we have anything to pick this lock? I don't think so. But we do have a mace. Aowen has 2 maces. I think so. We're each going to give a whack at this very hard lock. So this is a D8 mace and a D6 mace. So we're like, all right, time to bash. I think we're each going to get 1 whack at this. So Falcon, he's... Now, this is more of a strength thing than a dex thing, I feel like, because we're just bashing this lock. So since it's very hard, I think we're going to roll disadvantage. So we're going to take the highest roll from strength. So we're going to roll twice. And anything 7 or above is no good. 18. Immediately we're like, nope. This lock is super hard. Can't do it. Aowen. Strength 9. 4. All right. 1 more under 9 or under, and we are getting into this lock. 17. Nope. We both try. We both fail. And we're like, ah, fuck. All right. Well, there's probably something good in there, but we'll never know. So we're like, that's all right. We tried. But new room, new encounter roll, 6. And that would be quiet. Nothing. Even though the loud bangs coming from us smashing the lock, nothing happens. We're like, all right, no problem. Let's give ourselves one last chance to find something. We're off of here. And what do we pick? All right. Ooh, we found some gold over there. 3d10 gold, if we can get past this. There's more traps. Okay. So this is pretty much the end of this little tiny library dungeon. And we've got 2 doors here. We've got 1 big door here. This is our last and final room. We've got gold in here. Gold. The 3d10 gold. That's good. Now, there are these 4 columns in here. And there's some bones. That's a skeleton. Alright, again. Armor plus D4. 5. None. No trap. The traps have long since been disarmed. We open the door, we realize, there used to be some spike traps here, but someone already died and broke them, so no problem. We're gonna go examine that body, see if there's anything on that dead body. And there is. And what would that be? Pretty sure we got items on a dead body, items on a corpse, items on a dead adventurer's body, 105. Love that. This thing's got everything. Again, this book, by the way, The Great Book of Random Tables. Okay. So, where are my dice? I gotta get more organized here. This is only my 2nd stream, so, you know, bear with me. Critical son of a bitch who's watching this. Alright, so, items on a dead adventurer's body. 35. Backpack. Empty backpack. Makes sense. We already have backpacks. Don't need those. Anything else? No. That's a empty backpack. Already looted. We're like, no problem. But we've got these gold pieces. And let's see, is that door open? Accessible? Nope. But we're gonna try and bust it open again. And this one's not hard, it's just regular. Oh, it would be sick if we could just take that gold on the other side. So again, with our maces, I'm like, Eowyn, give me your D8 mace again. We're gonna smash this door open with a strength. Oop, wrong dice. With a strength check. Eowyn is like, here we go. 14, no. I'm like, alright, Falcon, we're pretty weak, but let's just try and do this. Oh, 11, no. I'm like, fucking damn it. It's just right there. I'm like, alright, well, we tried. We turn around, we're like, alright, well, we've seen everything. Cool little area down here. I guess this used to be for archives or some shit. I don't know why there were so many traps. But we're like, why don't we just search around? Is there anything else useful in this room? Absolutely not. I'm like, alright, well, let's retrace our steps. We head back. As we retrace our steps, You head back up to the stairs, back up to the right wing of the library. I'm like, what a waste. I'm like, Eowyn, I know you found what you were looking for, but I didn't find shit. Be like, let's take a look around. Is there anyone else in here now? Yes, there's several people milling about. So we're like, which one of these nerdy library people might know anything about Outlander criminals? I'm going to go up to the first person we see. It's not Lindell anymore. It's a female. Like, excuse me, miss. Do you know anything about the Outlanders? She's like, no. I'm just studying. What would I know about criminals? I'm here at the library. Please, just be quiet and leave me alone. I'm like, okay. Next person. A guy. I'm like, hi, excuse us. We're just doing research on criminals. Do you happen to know anything about that? Yeah, for sure. I'm a criminologist. I know everything there is to know about criminals. Why? By the way, who are you? And you look like a squirrel person. I'm like, yes, I am. My name's Eowyn, and I'm Falcon. He's like, look, anyone who's at the library is cool with me. But one thing we gotta do, one important thing we gotta do is this. Reactions. 2d6 when the PCs encounter an NPC whose reaction to the party is not obvious. So we got a 2d6, we got a 5, and we got a 2, which is a 7. Curious. He's like, yeah, I'm curious. What do you want to know? He's like, well, let's just... What kind of humanoid is this? You got dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin, halfling, and human. 6. 4. Dwarf, elf, gnome, halfling names. Okay, halfling. Not quite sure what that is. Half something else. 129. He's like, oh, my name. Is it a 171? Wenlow. Wenlow? Halfling? And this guy. Lindell. Librarian. He's like Wenlow. So let's go back. Let's look at the... We've got some stuff here somewhere. Now, let's go. We're going to consult the lore of this place, which is all the way back. Really got to get this organized. Okay. So, we've heard basically that the Outlander criminals are a faction, disciplined, corrupt faction. And so they have these advantages. He's like, yeah, I've heard of them. The Outlander criminals. He's like, you need to understand one thing about them. They have money, they have power, and everyone is extremely loyal to them. So if you encounter one, don't expect them to ever back down. If you fight them, your morale checks are not going to work. They're just going to keep fighting to the death. They are extremely loyal. He's like, look, I work for this family. They have a secret. He's like, oh, yes, of course. The family... What is the family's name? We never rolled against that, so... It's a human name. So we'll call this the last name of the family. Let's just do human male names here. The Yorks. He's like, of course, fucking New York. Everybody knows it. He's like, York, of course. He's like, you're an agent of the York family? He's like, yes, I'm Falcon of York. He's like, oh shit, okay. Look, I can help you. He's like, look, these disciplined, corrupt criminals, you know, they've been trying to reveal the secret about the York family. It's kind of an open secret, so I don't know why they're trying to get you to stop it from coming out, because it's almost common knowledge at this point. The patriarch of the York family has an illegitimate child, and that child has a claim to some of their land and property. And if this child, this prodigal, exiled child, ever resurfaces, it could really F things up for this family, because they would owe them title, land, gold, etc. And they don't want this coming out. It would be embarrassing and costly. So Falcon's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. You know what? I kind of had a feeling it was something like that. They didn't really tell me a lot because they didn't want me to know. They kind of just sent me on my journey without a lot of info. They're like, look, these criminals know that if they could kill the first son, the heir to the York fortune, there would be a power struggle, and this illegitimate heir could make a claim. So they've been seeking, is it a male or female? It is a female. Secret female heir to the York family fortune. I'm like, wow, okay. He's like, so do you think that the Outlander criminals have been searching for this girl? They're like, yes, if they knew who she was, if they knew her name, you know, she's been in hiding, she's been in exile. If they could control her or ally with her, it would just be even more money and prestige for them. So, yeah, I think they're trying to recruit her, if anything. At least that's what I would do. Like, wow, man. Thanks. Do we have anything to give this guy? 'Cause this is really helpful. We're like, all right. We got some lamb's lettuce. We got some stuff here. Let's give you some food, bro. Lamb's lettuce. I think at this point it's one watch has gone by. We're now in the afternoon. We're like, wow. I know we just ate, but you're pretty sweet. Have a drink from our flask. Take one of our medicinal herbs. We just really appreciate this info. It's like, no problem. do you know the name of the secret female York heir? He's like, well, no. I mean, if anyone really knew that, they'd be one step closer to finding her. So, good luck. That's all I know. We're like, okay, cool. Thank you, Wenlow. If you ever are around, travel south to the Squirrel People Village, you come by and say what's up. He's like, all right, cool. So, I mean, we were really hoping for a spell book, but I mean, at this point, we've just kind of exhausted looking. It's like, who wants to be stuck in this library at this point anyway? Aelin kind of came for what he was looking for, which is kind of fine. And Falcon kind of got what he wanted, which is just a little bit more info about what he's meant to be doing. But we're like, wait, one last thing, Wenlow. Where do you think we could find one of these Outlander criminals just to confirm or deny what you're saying? I mean, perhaps if we interrogated one, we might kind of know where their headquarters are. He's like, I'm sorry, I don't know, but, you know, maybe that talking tree. I mean, that talking tree just seems to find so much info about everyone. He found the legendary library. I mean, not that he would know that, but that's what happened. And I mean, people just walk by the tree and they are just yapping. I mean, they're not thinking anyone's listening. So he's like, go consult the tree. I'm like, all right, not a bad idea. Adieu. So we exit the library. It is noon. So basically, legendary library. 6 watches to the Squirrel People tree. 2 watches from there to the talking tree. The talking willow tree. So, if you're unfamiliar, in Cairn, a watch is they say 6-hour segments. They say 4 6-hour segments of a day. Each segment is a watch. But I think it's better to do 6 4-hour segments. 2 of those segments you need to rest, or you're encumbered. Essentially, you're fatigued. So, for us, it's noon. We're like, okay, back to the Squirrel People Village. So, now, wilderness events. Now, wilderness just means kind of overworld events. So, we got exploration actions, right? We do that, we do an event roll, we do a resolution. But first, we're going to roll for weather, which has been here this whole time. And obviously we could do this. We're going to do some weather. And hello. Summer weather. Fair. Favorable conditions for travel. Okay, no problem. We're like, sunny enough. Fair. We were in that library all morning. We're good. So, our first exploration action is travel. We've got a few watches to go. So, kind of should have some. Let me just grab some scrap paper here. Saw somebody else on YouTube do this. We got 6 watches, right? So it's fair. We're traveling from the legendary library to the Squirrel People village south. Fair weather. There's a road. So because of that, we can travel 2 hexes per 2 watches. So each procedure is 2 watches. So, or let's just say 2 hexes per watch. So let's just see. Event roll 4. Loss. All right, so we lose some rations. I'm like, fuck. On the road. I'm like, god damn it, where did I put that effing last lamb's lettuce? Ah, shit. I guess when I gave what's his face some, I must have misplaced the other one. So I'm done. Got no more food. Eowyn's like, you need to be more careful. I mean, we could always stop and try and search for some shit, but we're like, maybe. So that's 2 of the 6 watches. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? I think that's time to do some foraging. So forage hunt, 3 out of 6 chance to succeed. So first, we gotta update. So that's 1 more 4. So now we're talking about kind of dusk. So we're like, all right, we need to replenish our supplies because basically all I've got is we got some medicinal herbs, but we've only got 1 Chinese sweet plum. That's to say Eowyn has that. And Falcon has nothing. So we need some food. We need some rations. So since there's 2 of us, we're like, all right, we're gonna do a 1d6 here. So first it's a 3 and 4 chance to succeed. Did we find anything? Absolutely. We both found, we for sure found shit. Okay. So how many rations did we find? In fact, 1d6 since there's 2 of us. We found 3. Okay, 3 rations of what exactly? Food. So what did we find? Did we find fruit? Well, there's no C near here, so we got fruit, nuts and seeds, vegetables, all right, or vegetables number 2. So let's just roll that for vegetables. Vegetables 2, 77. Kind of had a very vegetarian diet here, but I mean, you know, the squirrel people, it's like they eat nuts and shit, so we got an 84. Caven's spinach. I just gotta check out what that is. Oops. Cabin spinach. That's nothing. It's a mythical spinach. That's fine. We're like, all right, cool, spinach. Love it. 3 rations of spinach. Falcon takes the spinach. Times 3. We're like, okay, cool. Now we're rolling on encounter. 2. That's a sign. We're like, okay. On track. Got the road sign pointing to Squirrel People Village. Continue south. We're like, wonderful. We're like, it is dusk, but let's continue. We kind of had both breakfast and lunch today. So, continuing on. Updating the weather now. And we're rolling for weather. Fair. Favorable conditions. Well, great, no change in weather. We're like, we're going to continue on south on the road. 2 more watches down. It's now nighttime. We're like, you know what? We could camp here, or we could travel throughout the night, heading to the Squirrel People Village. Should we do it? Awen's like, I don't know. I'm kind of tired. Let's just camp here. That's fine. We can hit the Squirrel Village in the morning. We're like, alrighty. Sounds good. Camp by the side of the road. We'll relax. Not even that hungry. We've been traveling. So we're like, we'll just take some rest so we're not fatigued. But we still got to roll for encounters. Since we're both going to go to sleep, no one's going to make watch. Let's just check out what happens. 1. Encounter. Okay. Roll on an encounter table. So. Encounters. Road encounters. 54. Road encounters. We're sleeping, middle of the night. All of a sudden, 41. Oh, shit. The road is flooded. I guess it's raining now. We're like, fuck. Wake up. Get up. Get our shit. We can't make camp here. This sucks. We didn't get any sleep. At this point, we're like, fuck. We gotta keep moving. Despite what you wanted. We've got fatigue. Fatigue from not sleeping. And at this point, Aowen is pretty encumbered. Entire inventory is full. We're like, alright, we're just gonna keep trudging along. It's still midnight. It's time to keep heading south. We gotta avoid this flood. Now, at this point, flooding and bad weather. At this point, bad weather slows us down. So only 1 hex. We're on a road, but since it's flooded, we're only going 1 hex per turn. So we're like, one more, 4 a.m. We're still headed there. We're only 1 hex away. We're like, it's a 6 mile. We can't even see the tree peeking up over the horizon because it's inclement weather. We're like, oh, fucking hell, I'm so tired. Let's just keep moving until we get there. We can get there by dawn. And we roll another encounter. We're like, oh, fucking hell. We just want to get home and go to sleep. Back to encounters on a road. 54. 9. Unconscious man. Okay. we're like trying to get our shit, trudging through the muddy, flooded road. And we're like, oh fuck, man, this guy just like must have slipped. He's unconscious. The rainwater's got him. We're like, how old is this freaking guy? He looks to be in his 40s. We're like, oh shit, sir. Eowyn's like, oh fuck. Let me run up to this guy. Sir, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Tries to wake him. Can he wake him? No. We're like, fuck, what do we do? We can't just leave him here. I mean, we could, but that would be the dick thing to do. And he's like, alright, fuck, man. We're already, like, flooded and the waters are rising. Let's just try and bring him with us. Now, we're super encumbered. I mean, Eowyn is already completely encumbered. So I'm like, alright, I'm going to try and help drag this guy. We're just going to kind of slink him over my back. But this makes us even slower. So, a half a hex per traveling. We're like, we're so close. Let's just try and get there. Half a hex has traveled. One more encounter. 6. Quiet. Thank God nothing happens at this point. We are able to finally make it towards the Squirrel Tree Village. Dragging this old man. Well, he's not old, he's 43. He's in his 40s. We're like, shit. We gotta leave this guy here. It's basically dawn at this point. And we're exhausted. We're all wet. We have fatigue. We've got this guy with us. And we get to the Squirrel People Village. Eowyn's like calling out for help, like, hey, somebody help us with our shit. Now, Eowyn is very popular with his people. Of course, he's a healer, he's an academic. So, people come out, they're like, oh my god, Eowyn, it's nice to see you again. And Falcon, you guys have been adventuring together for a while, so we know you too. Oh shit, who's this guy? We're like, I don't know, we found him on the side of the road, he was unconscious. We just brought him here. We didn't want him to drown in the flood. They're like, wow, that was very nice of you. Standing increased with everyone. Golden boy status, Eowyn. It's like, wow, Eowyn, we love you so much. You're just such a good guy. And also, everyone always likes Falcon because Falcon is athletic, tan, luxurious, perfect face, formal clothing. So, you know, quite suave looking. So, let's just take some notes here. Let's just kind of start wrapping up here. So, the important thing from this session was Wenlo told us about secret female heir to the York family fortune and the Outlander criminals want her. Then I have to find a better. This is really not cutting it, this thing. Traveling back to the treehouse. Unconscious man in 40s. Found and dragged back with us. It is now dawn. All right. That is where we're going to leave it off. It's been about an hour and 15 minutes. But, yeah. I don't know. Next time we're going to figure out who this old man is. I keep saying old. Like, I'm in my 40s. I'm not that old. He's in his 40s. He's young. So, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But at this point, Awen has kind of gotten what he's wanted, which is to say he's got this new book, this cool book about trees. He's learned this new recipe. I've gotten a little bit of what I wanted, which is, hey, there's this secret female heir to the York family, and these Outlander criminals want her. So, we're back at our kind of adopted home base, which is the Squirrel People village. We don't really have a ton of supplies on us. We have fatigue. We kind of want to get rid of this useless mace here. We got this cool book. And we're here, back at the Squirrel People village with the unconscious man. All right. Thank you and goodbye.